Hello my friends, Alexander here, and this is the summary of the third lesson.
It was dedicated to Russian nouns in the nominative case. You now know that nouns in Russian have three genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter. And hopefully you've learned by heart how to distinguish them. Masculine nouns end in a consonant. Feminine ones end in a or ya, and neuter nouns end in o, ye. The difficulty may arise when learning nouns which end in a soft sign, because they can be either masculine or feminine. Hence, we have to memorize their gender. Now we're going to summarize the third lesson. Since we've covered lots of different nouns, we will try to use them in singular and plural forms. Listen to the following monologue, and if you have worked enough with the third lesson, doing all the translation exercises and listening to my audio recordings, you should now be able to understand this monologue by ear. Can you understand it with your eyes closed?
Все мы работаем. Мы говорим по-русски. Они читают хорошие книги. Вы говорите слова. Он печатает и думает. Все работают. Где мы говорим? Где они читают? Чьи книги она читает? Эти книги ваши, мои или их? Чьи они, эти книги? А чья та книга там? Там стол, а та книга его. А моя книга здесь. Я знаю, где моя книга, но не помню, где мой учебник. Вы помните эти слова? Я всегда забываю. Слушайте. Урок, вопрос, студент, день, дом, друг, ручка, страна, история, письмо, время. Кто хорошо помнит эти слова? Вы помните? А они знают? Мы только ученики. Мы только начинаем говорить по-русски. И это только третий урок. Now, since we've been learning Russian nouns, let's check if you can determine their gender. Tell me what gender has the noun язык. It's masculine. It ends in a consonant K. What about the noun кошка? It's feminine. The word слово, it's neuter. It ends in O. But if you've never spelled it, you don't know how it's written. You may find it confusing because unstressed Russian O sounds like A.
So it's very important to run your own dictionary and write down all the new words and put the emphasize marks over them.
What about the noun дверь? What gender is it? It's feminine. This noun ends in a soft sign, and you should memorize its gender. The masculine noun день also ends in a soft sign. And finally, can you determine the gender of the following nouns? Поле, платье, море, здание. They end in «е», which means they are of the neuter gender.
I can say that understanding the gender of Russian nouns is easy if you know this simple rule. If you learned French,
le décollage, la piste d'envol,
or German, for instance,
Der Glas, die Hut, das Bier.
you often have a hard time memorizing the gender. There are tendencies. In fact, you just memorize the noun along with its definite article, which I think is more difficult.
Now let's recall how we use plural form of nouns. Let's take feminine nouns first. Газета, история, кровать. Газета becomes газеты. We change a to ы. История becomes истории. We change я to и. And кровать becomes кровати. We change the soft sign to e. Masculine nouns ending in a soft sign, they also take e in their plural forms. Like, for instance, словарь becomes словари. However, день becomes дни.
I advise you to print out those pages of the third lesson where I explain these rules, use them for reference. Because it's difficult to retain all the rules and try to speak at the same time. Just keep them at hand until you feel comfortable, until they're anchored confidently in your memory. It comes with practice and reading. The third lesson has a huge workout appendix. You should practice all these nouns doing exercises that I provided you with. Now, let's move on to practical implementation of the third lesson. Let's practice some expressions you may need in real life. How would we say in Russian, "What do you want?" in a formal way?
Что вы хотите?
What if you're talking to a friend? How would you say that?
Что ты хочешь?
It's nice if you used correct endings. In colloquial speech, to be more polite, you can ask,
Чего вы желаете? Чего вы желаете?
or even notorious, "How can I help you?"
Чем я могу вам помочь? Чем я могу вам помочь?
Okay. Excuse me in Russian is
Простите.
in a formal way. I hope you've memorized possessive personal pronouns. They are essential in any language. So what about if someone at a public place, in a library or at school, has accidentally taken your books or a pen, for instance? How would you say in Russian, "Excuse me, but these are my books"?
Простите, но это мои книги.
What about, "Excuse me, is this your pen?"
Простите, это ваша ручка.
Now say the same informally. "Excuse me, is this your pen?"
Прости, это твоя ручка?
Let's take another example in an informal situation. How would you ask your friend sitting in a library of whether or not he knows what the time is? Literally, it sounds like, "Excuse me, do you know the time?"
Прости, время знаешь? Most commonly we also say «Скажите, который час?» or «Скажите, сколько времени?»
And how do we say formally, "Excuse me, where is this street?"
Простите, где эта улица?
And finally, you're asking a person on the street to show you on a map where a famous museum is. "Excuse me, do you know where this museum is?"
Простите, вы знаете, где этот музей?
If you haven't yet learned possessive and demonstrative pronouns well enough, immediately do that, because we'll need them in upcoming lessons. And of course, review the rules of how nouns change from singular to plural forms in the third lesson. That's it for today. Subscribe to my channel and newsletter, join our Facebook page to get more lessons, leave your comments if you have any questions, tell me what topics would you like me to cover in my video lessons. Thank you for your time and have fun learning!
Удачи!